Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, altcoins are looking great. Now, you might think I'm crazy for saying that, but all we have to do is just look at the bigger picture. Before we jump into it, yes, I am running a New Year's promo for those that were asking. The code is new. If you want to become a part of the community, great. If not, you're always more than welcome to stay on YouTube. Listen, look, Bitcoin, right? It is looking good. Altcoins are looking good. And I'm going to show you why exactly. Right now, we are on the yearly time frame on Bitcoin. Okay. So look, each candle represents a year's worth of data. And, for me, it's just the same old thing at the moment. It's just the same old thing. People get worried. They look at news too much. They look at headlines too much. They look at too many opinions. Um, because look, it's very, very simple. Every year, for Bitcoin, we pump, we dump, we recover, then we kind of explode pretty much the next 2 years, right? And we can see we always pretty much retest off pretty much previous highs, right? We can see in 2022, people were panicking, this and this headlines. Guys, it was just a simple yearly retest. That's all it was. That's all it was. That's why I didn't even pay attention to that stuff. I just bought some coins. I was chilling. I remember Bitcoin broke out pretty much to the low 20,000s. And I was like, all right, confirmation. That's all the confirmation I needed for reversals. And I got in. And then we can see, 2023 was recovery. 2024 was also recovery plus more. And we can see where we're at in the current moment is pretty much this is the type of year we just finished, right? This over here, right? That is the exact same. So what I expect is this, right? What happened in 2021 is when we had a pump, and then near the end of the year, we kind of start dumping, right? That is exactly what I expect to happen with Bitcoin in the next few months and in this year. Okay. Now, let's look at the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I lied. This one is with Bitcoin. We can see pretty much exact same thing. This pretty much is the exact same thing as Bitcoin, right? It is the exact same thing, but this one is actually more important because, ladies and gentlemen, if we look at the details, even though this looks very, very similar to the previous one, right? We could see in terms of candle closings, we actually had a better candle closing at 1.34 trillion compared to the candle closing we had in 2021 at 1.31 trillion. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, that means very, very bullish signs and indications. And it means we should have a great year. All right. I know things are slightly different, right? We are a little bit more sped up. There's the ETFs, there's this and that, but at the end of the day, for me, most of that is just noise. Um, for me, it is the candles what mean the most. Like, there was so much great news coming out when Bitcoin was kind of around 40K dumping, a few years ago. El Salvador's buying, there's more adoption, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? The price still went down, right? The price still went down because it needed to do its retest. So for me, I don't really care too much about the news. But listen, right? We closed pretty great, even though we could have closed technically higher. We closed pretty great. And for me, that is just a very, very bullish indication. I mean, even on the 3 month candle, right? We closed here. We closed all above this price action. And look, it makes sense why we had a rejection, right? We can see one, two, three, four 3 month candles, right? So there's lots of data here. So of course, when we got into it, we got a little bit of rejection. Is there going to be a little bit of pullback? Possibly, maybe like 10% pullback. But I don't think anything big is going to happen. If anything, the only type of big stuff is going to be towards the upside because nothing suggests on this chart and the other charts a reversal. Nothing, right? Nothing suggests that. So for me, better times are ahead, right? We can see once again the candle closing is here. When we look at something like the others, right? The others didn't close as strong, but that is okay, ladies and gentlemen. That is okay because historically, right, we either close kind of even or a little bit lower for altcoins. And we closed a little bit lower, which is not that concerning because overall the market is very, very bullish in terms of the price action on the yearly chart, right? We can see the 6 month is still looking great. And we can see on the 6 month, we already retested these bottoms, right? And at one point, we retested these tops. So we are just in like accumulation phase right now, right? We are just doing what we have to do. And once we break through this, we're going to have a massive altcoin season, which I am excited for. And I think, January, February is when things are going to start breaking out. Okay. I think March to April is going to be the peak, possibly even into May, but we will see, right? We will see what happens when we have more data. But with the current data we have, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking extremely bullish. Now let's look at Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance in general, every time it slams, there's about three years of green and then reversal, right? We did have 3 years of green, and then we do expect a reversal at one point, but just know, in general, we still always pretty much have um, decent dominance the first little bit into the year before we slam. Now, there is a chance that this could be it, right? We are currently looking at the weekly, right? We are currently in decision mode, right? Are we going to have something like this where we create a lower low, so we create a staircase downwards? Or are we going to have this high over here, this low over here? Are we going to respect this area and then create a higher high? That is ultimately the question that a lot of us are waiting for, right? If you want a bigger altcoin season, you want this to play out. If you want altcoin season to happen quicker, but have a smaller one, then you want the dominance to die out. Um, right now, pretty much, right? But for me, I want a bigger pump. So I want it to fall harder so we can get more money. It's just that simple. So we can see though, we are starting to exhaust a little bit, but I still think, when we look at the bigger time frame, we have over here, right? This area for me, the bottom of this candle to halfway through, that is where I would be looking for, even up to the 70%. I always talked about the 69% zone being the target before we slam. And you know what? That's still something I want to see. When we look at the others dominance chart, right? So this is like all the altcoins, not including the, top 10. Look, beautiful. Beautiful retest, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right? We broke through, we held, we went up, we failed, to go higher. Then we went down, we stayed above, and I believe this year has to be the slam, right? It has to be the slam. According to data, it will be the slam. And look, things look kind of grim sometimes, right? We could see historically, people, this is why people get scared because of confirmation bias and certain other factors. But we can see, 1, 2, 3 rejections. Well, there are like 3 rejections in 2020. They would have been like, well, altcoin season is dead. And guess what? In 2021, it pumped. So for me, we held this line. And for me, what I expect is something like this. I do think, generally speaking, though, right, we can see every time we have a high, the higher high, it goes up by a couple percent. So for me, we could be seeing up to 20 to 30% dominance at one point, but I would definitely be on myself on a more conservative level already, like low to mid 20s is where I would probably start looking to be exiting, obviously based off certain candles and certain confirmations. But as a general zone, if I was supposed to guess, that that 22 to 26% zone is where I'd guess, because last time, how much higher did we go? This was April. I went to the April one. So April, we're up another 40%. So if we went from this and we went up, 40%, we could reach upwards of pretty much, 30% area. So look, for me, right, this is extremely bullish. For me, we're going to be looking to overtake this level at the minimum and create new highs somewhere in this box or even higher. So yeah, guys, this is it. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, everything on a higher time frame screams bullish. Do not be afraid of the micro moves. I know some of you guys are getting impatient, but that is the name of the game. If anyone told you you could be making a 10x potentially next couple months, all you have to do is wait and then just literally sell, you would say yes. So, buckle up, lock in, and, become one of those people that are in the 3 to 5% that actually profit out. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.